This is Christina, and you're watching Speak Better Feel Great TV, the place to boost your English and boost your career. Sometimes when you're talking to Americans, you think you understood what they said, but you're not 100% sure. Or maybe you really need to be sure that you understood absolutely everything. Today, I'll show you how to make sure you never miss a detail and also give the impression that you're a really good communicator at the same time. You ready? There are times when you don't understand and you want the other person to repeat or say something in a different way. But other times you think you've understood some of the message, but you want to be totally sure. After all, it's better to be sure than to simply assume you understood. In fact, that's where a lot of misunderstanding comes from, even between native speakers. Reformulating what someone said to you is a great way to make sure you understood. You may not understand everything that the other person says, but you definitely understand everything you say back to them when you reformulate. Let's imagine a scenario. You're talking to your American colleague, Christy. You and Christy are working on a project, and you work with a team in India. You and Christy realize that there's a big problem in the schedule, so you're on the telephone with Christy. Well, now look, if we just talk to the Indian team and explain that there's been this big screw up in the schedule, I'm sure they'll understand. I mean, they might not be happy about it, but and it's not like we haven't been on top of everything else for the entire project. What do you think? Maybe you understood some of Christy's message, but you want to check. You can use a statement to reformulate what you think you understood. For example, so you're saying blah, blah, blah. So you're saying blah, blah, blah. Or, are you saying that blah, blah, blah? Are you saying that blah, blah, blah? You can also ask questions to reformulate. For example, if I understood correctly, you're saying blah, blah, blah. Is that it? If I understood correctly, you're saying blah, blah, blah. Is that it? What I understand is blah, blah, blah. Is that right? What I understand is blah, blah, blah. Is that right? Let's try it. Using the scenario from earlier in the video. I'm Christy, your American colleague, and we're on the phone talking about the problem with the schedule. Well, now look, if we just talk to the Indian team and explain that there's a big screw up in the schedule, I'm sure they'll understand. I mean, they might not be happy about it, but it's not like we haven't been on top of everything else for the entire project. What do you think? Exactly, yeah, what do you think? So there you go. To build your fluency, you can watch that sequence again and practice. Just a recap. Do you remember the two statements you can use to reformulate? Go on, say it to yourself, and I'll wait. So you're saying blah, blah, blah? Are you saying that blah, blah, blah? And so do you remember the two questions you can use to reformulate? Go ahead, say them to yourself, and I'll wait. If I understand correctly, you're saying blah, blah, blah. Is that right? What I understand is that blah, blah, blah. Is that right? Here's your Speak Better Feel Great challenge for this week. Try to reformulate what someone says to you in English this week. You'll come off as a good listener, and it'll give you the opportunity to apply what you've learned in this video. Then come back and tell us about it in the comments section below. Remember, the best way to boost your English and boost your career is to work regularly on your English communication skills. Sign up for the Speak Better Feel Great blog and you'll get 1 tip a week delivered directly to your inbox. Even if you don't have a lot of time in your busy schedule, I'll make sure that you improve the way you work in English a little each week. Go ahead and sign up at ChristinaRubafe.com. I'm Christina from Speak Better Feel Great TV. See you next time.